There are 3 questions that will be answered tonight in the NBA Finals. Let's talk about it. Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks will be facing off against Victor Wembanyama and the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. There are 3 questions that will be answered tonight. Without further ado, let's get into it. The first question is, who is going to guard Cat? I know a lot of people are probably thinking like, oh, Wemby will guard Cat, but no, it's not that simple. The thing is with Wemby, if he was to guard Cat, that would keep Wemby out of the paint. That's where he's best known for, and that's where he's best used in this series, is to guard the paint, is to float around, and is to block shots and grab rebounds, right? But Cat isn't a typical in the post player. He likes to pick and pop. He likes to get the ball and dribble. So Wemby guarding Cat wouldn't be ideal. It would keep him out of the paint, and it would mess with his defensive abilities. It would hinder it, essentially. If he was to guard him, it would open up the paint for everybody else that's on the Knicks and clear pathways for Jalen Brunson to get to the rack, for Mikal Bridges to get to the rack, for OG and anybody else to get a layup. It would give them all the resources in the world to do so. So I don't think that'll be the move. Then you might ask, Dad, what about Devin Vassell? He just guarded Chet last series, and he was locking him up. Man blocked his shot and was talking mad junk to him. The thing is, I think if that was the case, I could see them trying to do this initially. The thing is with Cat though, Cat doesn't settle all the time. I'm not gonna say he doesn't ever. All the time when it comes to other smaller players guarding him. Cat might try to take advantage of this by getting him to the mid-range and shooting a mid-range over him for a lot of his shooting shots. Or, I mean, he can still shoot a 3 over the top of him. We've seen Cat try to pull up on the logo when he's feeling it. So I don't know if Devin Vassell is the right choice. I think they'll start off with him on him and then see how it goes. But with someone else like Devin Vassell guarding him, Wemby will be able to play help defense on him. So if he does try to drive, or if he does try to shoot in the mid-range, Wemby will be able to be there and help any point of attack that Cat tries to do. He'll be able to help him, to help whoever his teammate is that's guarding him. The third person that I could think of that they could throw at Cat to try and guard him and slow him down would be Keldon Johnson. Granted, Keldon Johnson is coming off the bench. So I don't think that they will start him simply for the fact that their starting unit has been like moving, and it has been a really good unit. So him coming off the bench or guarding him, Cat in general, because I think he'll come off the bench and guard Cat. He's a bigger body, he has a bigger frame, and he could get a lot more physical with Cat, especially on the defensive end. And that'll stop Cat from being able to like do anything mid-range wise, and it'll make everything harder for him and make him more tired. So he can play, and so playing defense on him without fouling is really important. So I think that's what Keldon Johnson brings to the table. I'm sure some people will be like, what about Champagnie? I don't think Champagnie guards Cat. I don't think he's as physical as he can be. So I think I can see him guarding more Mikal Bridges in this matchup. The second question that we will be discussing and that will be answered in the NBA Finals in Game 1 will be, or actually throughout the entire Finals, will be what bench will show up the most. The Knicks bench is extremely deep. They're averaging 32 points a game, running through 5 players. And if you're familiar with Knicks basketball, last year that was not a thing. They were running 6 players deep, starting 5 and then 1, maybe 2 off the bench, and that's it. This is a whole completely different Knicks team from prior teams. They're going 5 people off the bench deep, so they're bringing a starting 5 off of the bench to play, and each one of those players is playing 10 plus minutes. That's everything right there. That will be the battle of attrition for the Knicks. That benefits the Knicks starters, because if all 5 of them can get a rest for 10 plus minutes at any given time, then the Knicks starters will be able to play longer in the fourth quarter if things get tight, and they won't be as gassed or tired as you would think that the Spurs would be. And we kind of seen that in a few games in the West Finals, with the Spurs being kind of gassed after playing double overtime and playing against a physical team like that. The Spurs bench, on the other hand, is averaging 33 points a game, But the difference is there's only 3 players coming off the bench that are averaging over 10 minutes a game. So like I was saying, there's less players playing 10 minutes a game. Therefore, the starters for the Spurs, if it comes to a long series like this, which I think it will be, it takes a toll on their body and stamina over time. And over time, the battle of attrition is a problem. And the Knicks, I think, will handle that better than the Spurs will. And then lastly, it's going to be 3-point shooting when it comes to off the bench. Knicks are shooting 10 threes off the bench. They're averaging about 10 threes off the bench, and they're averaging making 4. It's pretty good if you ask me. That's 40%. That's pretty solid from 3. And then the Spurs are shooting 9 threes. They're attempting 9 threes a game, and they're only making 3. So granted, they're shooting 1 less, and they're making 1 less. So you can see, simple math, 1 is more. 3 more points is more than 3 less points. So I think the 3-point shooting in this series, just like the last West Finals, is going to be a big thing. So keep an eye on that. The last question that will be answered in this game, in this NBA Finals, will be, what is the X factor? I personally think the X factor for the Knicks will be Josh Hart. I think that Wemby will actually guard Josh Hart at the start of this series, because Josh Hart, let's be real, Josh Hart in their starting 5 is the least threatening 3-point shooter. With that, Wemby can play off of him. He can roam the paint. He can play the help defense that he's accustomed to doing and that we all know of him doing. And he can affect the game a lot more with doing that. Josh Hart is averaging 11 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists with 2 steals. I think that he'll also play more minutes because of Mitchell Robinson's pinky being messed up. His shooting, because if Wemby's going to guard him, Wemby will leave him open a lot more. And his Wemby guarding him will affect his rebounding. He won't be able to just jump in there and do whatever and cause havoc. I think Wemby will slow his rebounding down and he'll average less rebounding. I think that Wemby won't guard him, will guard him, but I don't think he'll guard Wemby. I think that OG Anunoby will guard Wemby on the other end. For the Spurs, my X factor is De'Aaron Fox. He's averaging 16 points. He averaged 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists with 1 steal in the last series in the West Finals. But he averages 20 points against the Knicks. With him coming off a mild West Finals, I think that he'll be more aggressive, hopefully, with Brunson in front of him. Granted, Brunson doesn't play the best defense, so I think he'll be more aggressive when it comes to trying to score the ball. Hey, he's getting paid 30 plus mil a year right now. Next year, 50 plus mil. You need him to put the ball in the hoop. I understand he gives assists and he does all this. He needs to put the ball in the hoop. He's their second option. So I think that he needs to handle that more than anything else. Obviously, keep everybody involved. But I think he's gonna be key to their second option. I think he'll be key to their offense. So those are the 3 questions that will be answered in the NBA Finals. If you like this video, drop a comment. Drop a like, let me know how you feel about it. Let me know who you think will win the NBA Finals. I got the Knicks coming out in 6. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. What I do know is it's going to be a great Finals, and I can't wait for it. Until next time.